Hey there everyone, it's Austin Bach, and we're back on Magic Online playing some Standard. This is my first Standard deck since Rivals of Ixalan was officially released on Magic Online, and since the bannings. And we're playing a deck that's not really a new strategy, but rather an old one that's been revitalized, which is Blue-Black Control, featuring good old Torrential, Gearhulk, and Scarab God. So I think there were a couple of important metagame shifts after the bannings that have caused this deck to suddenly become well positioned again. For one, Ramanap Ruins and Rampaging Ferocidon were really the two of the cards in the mono-red deck that really hated out this deck because you no longer had the late game inevitability that Ramanap Ruins provided the mono-red deck, and you couldn't gain life thanks to the Ferocidon, so all of your life gain cards were turned off. And also the Teamer deck is gone, which means that there's no longer a green mid-range deck featuring Negate. Although I guess now there is Merfolk, but that deck is not nearly as prevalent as Teamer was, so I think all considered, this is a very well-positioned deck for week 1 of the format, while people are still kind of figuring out what's actually good. So the only new card, the only new addition to this deck is Moment of Craving, but I think it is an important one. It's just a cheap instant that not only gains you life, but it's another cheap Fatal Push-esque card that allows you to interact in the early turns without getting too far behind in life or on the board. It allows us to move the Bantu's Last Reckoning to the sideboard, because I always felt that this card wasn't that good in the main deck. You kind of had to, just because you needed some more cheap interaction, but I think with the addition of Moment of Craving, you now have a critical mass of early interaction that you'll be able to survive most early onslaughts, especially now that people can't get off to the nutty draws that they used to with Mono Red and like Teamer with Long Tusk Hub and that kind of thing. But really, we're not really trying to reinvent the wheel here. We're just bringing back the good old blue-black. So let's get into some matches.